Hey guys, what is going on? So in today's video, I'm incredibly excited because I'm going to be reviewing, for the first time ever, some whole cut Chelsea boots. Whole cuts have been on my radar for quite some time. I used to see Viberg running them, and quite a few of my friends on Instagram gravitated towards the whole cut. Now, it was never really a look that I necessarily wanted at the time, but they've always intrigued me. And so this pair of boots was sent to me by my buddy Spaniard DH, otherwise known as Carlos. Thank you, Carlos, so much, sir. I will leave a link to Spaniard DH's Instagram. Go give him a follow. He is very passionate about boots, and he was very kind to send me these to review. It's a win-win for everybody because I get to support Fortis, who made the boots, I get to support Carlos, who sent me the boots, and I get to make another review video, and everybody wins. And so that said, before I really get started, I do want to just sort of take a minute and say thank you to everybody for your viewership and for your friendship and for enjoying my content, promoting my content. I never thought that my content was going to rise to a level of success. I'm just a guy in his basement who's insanely in love with leather and with boots and insanely curious about boot making. I don't say it enough, but thank you to everybody who continues to watch my content. You're the reason I keep doing it. I've got other stuff going on in my life, but this really is a great hobby. With that said, my collection, my personal collection, has gotten a little out of control lately. For that reason, I have started a new tab on my website, dalesleatherworks.com, where I'll be offloading some boots that just don't get enough love, that I don't continue to wear, and or that don't fit me well. There will be a description there, but go check that tab out. I'll be updating it periodically as time goes on, but I do plan to sell off a good portion of boots over time, so just keep an eye on that. Anyways, let's talk about these boots. Carlos posted these on his Instagram. He says he cannot wait to get these on his feet. He says these are rich in detail. The original Fortis design, which I am proud to have been involved in, has a timeless style while making use of the most modern materials and a build quality that should come as no surprise by now from the Sani team. Nailed to Dr. Soul's black cork soles, El Primero invites you to dress with elegance as well as rebellion and toughness, like a panther in the night that only wants to eat to have fun. El Primero signifies the #1 specimen of its kind, soon to be joined by its 49 other siblings. Take advantage of this opportunity as this batch of 50 specimens is flying. Secure your spot and prepare to be captivated starting with your feet. So it's built by Fortis Boots, Indonesia. And yes, Carlos has been posting on this for quite a while. In fact, I think I used the footage of the laser etching in one of my other Fortis videos that Fortis has incorporated. I really like the Fortis team for the specs on these. So again, this is called the Fortis Boots El Primero, which is Spanish for the first. These are whole cut Chelsea boots in Maryam leather HORSERUMP TPR black Nero. It's 6 inches tall. It's built on a Dr. Soul Originals raw cord half sole. It's got black edge trim, Cuban heels, a steel shank, and it's built on the Fortis Boots Jalak last. And yeah, so I guess they did a run of 50 of these, which is really cool. That's quite a bit. Yeah, it was a big collab, and I've seen it. It just wasn't fresh in my head. So this is the Fortis Boots Indonesia Spaniard denim head collaboration. Chelsea boots titled Semi-Dressing and still maintains the impression of rugged style, which is the character of Fortis Boots. These boots are for lifestyle outfits and functional working that can be used daily. The name of this article is El Primero by Maryam Tannery, Italy, HORSERUMP, Nero material, and Dr. Soul Originals Super Grip, which will give the impression of toughness and perfect aging. Only 50 pairs of these boots were made, and there is a serial number in it. There are 2 variants, namely the difference in the heels and the height of the boots themselves. Well, congratulations to Fortis and Spaniard. Fortis and Carlos, you both have done an outstanding collaboration here. I think this is an absolutely beautifully executed Chelsea. First off, what is a hole cut boot? Well, a hole cut, it's typically a style that I see a lot of the Spanish makers doing. Hole cuts come in many different models, Chelsea's obviously, but they also come in Oxfords. That's how I've seen them predominantly. It's a very minimalistic design because, well, it's in the name. It's one hole cut piece of leather. They're not taking different panels and stitching them together. No, it's just one whole piece of leather. It's a very elegant look. It's an ode to minimalism with a lack of detailing in pieces. So this is according to Wikipedia. In shoemaking, hole cut shoes are shoes made of a single piece of flawless leather with or without a back seam. In the latter case, it is called a seamless hole cut. These shoes can be entirely plain and smooth or with tiny perforated decorations. Various types of shoes can be made hole cut, but usually the term refers to classic dress shoes. The absence of decorative features and overall conservative look tend to make hole cuts appropriate for black tie occasions. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, typically when I see a hole cut, it is going to be plain toe like this. I think I have seen some with like medallion toe, but yeah, for the most part, it's the shape. Typically a very sleek European last I see hole cuts built on. Very elegant design, usually quite polished up, not a rugged look at all. Typically it's just putting that beautiful leather on full display with nothing distracting the eye from it. Now, that said, this particular pair of Fortis Primero boots has a back heel stay stitched onto it, but I can see from the interior that yes, the vamp, the quarters, and the back are all one piece hole cut, and then this back heel strip is stitched atop that. So it is definitely a hole cut, and then we've got a really nice pull tab here, which will help you get in and out of the boot. And then my favorite part about Fortis's back heel strips is you've got this hourglass stitching surrounded by a double stitch, keeping the back heel strip stitched down onto there. I think that's really sharp. And then we've got nice solid Gore-Tex, stretchy Gore-Tex there. One thing that I really like about the last in particular is it's not a pointy last, which you typically see hole cuts or Chelsea's built on. Sometimes you see round, sometimes you see pointy. In this case, it's actually almost more squared off in the toe, which is something very rare. But the silhouette of the boot is very beautiful from the side angle, especially because you've got this collapsed toe here, and it really collapses down the closer you get to the toe. The toe shape itself is a little bit squared off. It's not totally squared, but it's got a squared off angulature about it, which I quite like. I know a lot of guys don't like square toes. I've always thought square toes were somewhat cool depending on the execution. Obviously, I love it. Obviously, in this case, I think it looks really, really good. And then this might be my first time seeing a black Dr. Sole Super Grip sole. You can see the shank protruding through here. Very cool. Cuban heel here. Got a good angle there. And then, yeah, we've got veg tan insole, midsole. And then, yeah, on the inside, it's really cool. It's laser etched SDH and Fortis Boots collaboration. El Primero. Now, I did not hop on these personally because I have the Grant Stone Chelsea already in black. So this is going to be in a black and a calfskin leather. And actually, I've been meaning to review these. I've had these for a couple years. But as you can see on this pair, you compare that, the last shapes. The Grant Stone, I believe this is on the Grant Stone Euro last. And it's a little bit tapered out towards the toe there. You could contrast that. I absolutely love these Chelseas, also blacked out on the sole. Yeah, just a perfect pair of Chelseas. You know, I didn't ask Carlo what size these were, but they do appear to be my size. Maybe a half size large, but they do appear to be my size. On the topic of sizing, so I reached back out to Carlos and he did confirm that these are in fact a size 42.5 E. So with that in mind, I did leave a note in the previous clip that I think that if I were to order Fortis, based on what I'm seeing, I'd go for a size 42. I think that a 42 standard D would be a perfect fit for me. That said, I do have a couple of Fortis boots on the way in a size 42 already. I will affirm the sizing in that video, but in the meantime, since I know the size of this, let's compare it to the Viberg 2030 in size 8.5. So again, Fortis 42.5 E, Viberg 8.5 D. The length is very much the same from what I can see. Now, keep in mind, because of the arch and the Cuban heel on the Fortis, the length, it's going to appear a little shorter compared to the Viberg. See, the Viberg has less heel stack here. It's going to be a little bit flatter of a last, so therefore the Viberg's length is going to appear longer than what it is because of the flat build, whereas these Fortis, because of the arched build, are going to appear a bit shorter. But that said, I would say that just by what I'm seeing in a one-dimensional plane, they are the same length just about. So these probably fit about the same is what I'm getting at. And Viberg's already built on an E width already, so I want to say that these are about the same size. Possibly the Fortis, being on an E width, might have some more volume. Yeah, the Fortis do appear to have a little bit more volume in the toe box there. But yeah, there's a little visual there about some Grant Stone Ottawa boots in black chrome XL, size 8.5. These also look to be about same length-ish. Yeah, once again, same story. The flat bottoming on the Grant Stones is going to create a little bit of a deceptive comparison, again, compared to the arch. My initial assessment at this point is that if you wear, okay, so typically on EU scale, I'm a size 9 Brannock, typically 42s fit me very well. This is a half size up. These Grant Stones in a size 8.5 are a little generous on me. These 42.5 E's would probably be just a little bit generous on me as well. But just to compare, I'll bring these Grant Stones back out. These are a perfect fit in an 8.5 on the Eurolast, and they appear to be a half size smaller. So these lasts are just completely different. So once again, I think the size 42D for me would be great. These might be a half size large, a little bit on the generous size, because the instep is the most crucial point when it comes to sizing Chelseas. That's why sizing Chelseas is more difficult. The instep on these is perfect. Yeah, these would probably fit, just I would need a thicker sock with these. So anyways, I hope that clarifies the sizing a little bit. I hope I didn't make it more confusing than it needed to be. And a real quick honorable mention, it's funny, oddly enough, right before I started filming this video, I saw the Iron Boot, shout out to Iron Boots, who I've reviewed some of his boots before. He just posted the Great Escape boot in black Maryam horsebutt TPR, same exact leather. So go give Iron Boots a follow too, shout out to them. So what is Maryam HORSERUMP TPR? I've covered Maryam Tannery extensively on my channel. They're a small tannery in Italy. They specialize in age-old tanning methods, particularly vegetable tanned, and it's a small team. Actually, I was looking at their team. Yeah, they have about 11 people working at their tannery, and they are like a family. So shout out to Andrea, Alessia, Aurora, Marco, Lorenzo, Luca, Marco, Maurizio, Walter, Eduardo, and Emiliano. Maryam HORSERUMP TPR vegetable tan leather comes from Maryam Tannery in Tuscany, Italy. The Maryam Tannery, heir to centuries-old experience and knowledge, performs with care and passion the slow process that takes rawhides to become leather, in total respect to nature, a process based on the use of natural tannins from the trees, new technologies, and a slow passage of time. The HORSERUMP is cut from horse butts that don't have the size and other attributes to be selected for shell cordovan. This veg tan HORSERUMP leather is top grade. It is full grain with incredible denseness and a rich feel. Often many of these hides you will see small areas of actual shell cordovan within the hide. You can see and you can use it. It has a great firmness with some slight suppleness. Horse butts are an extremely dense fibrous area of leather that lends itself to durable applications like boots, shoes, wallets, and other small leather goods. HORSERUMP has unique characteristics like spider web veining, dark spots, scars, and cuts. The expected yield is 75%. These TPR horse butts, which TPR means thermoplastic resin, it has an aniline finish showing off its natural grain and beauty, meaning it will patina. One of the unique aspects of this leather is the honeycomb pattern of wrinkles you see in the hides. It is a signature of some of this horse butt, and it gives a special look to products made with it. Lastly, this leather has a TPR finish, which is a resin and gives the hide a stunning shell cordovan-esque finish. The leather is about as close you're going to get to shell cordovan at roughly 1/3 the cost. We are confident this will become one of your favorites. It's a favorite for a reason. I personally have made kilties out of this stuff. I still have a few left in fire red, which are very nice. But yeah, I've had my fair share of Maryam HORSERUMP, and yeah, it's beautiful stuff. It is very supple. It's got a really cool, consistent micro-pebbling grain throughout the entirety of the leather, and the thermoplastic resin finish really gives it a nice semi-gloss going on. It is quite glossy. You could of course polish those up and make them even glossier, but I personally really like the micro coarse grain that it has. So it's 360 degree Goodyear welted with double stitching in the front half of the boot. Very cool. The Dr. Soul outsole is nailed in 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10 nails in the heel, 9 nails in the mid-foot area. Stitching is visible from the bottom. An absolutely outstanding pair of hole cut Chelseas. Thank you so much, Spaniard _DH on Instagram, Carlos. I will leave, once again, a link to his Instagram in the description below. He is a jovial guy. He is just as zany about heritage garments as I am. He's got a lot of boots. He's got great style. He's a denim head. He's got engineers. He's got all kinds of service boots, Red Wings, whites. He has an insanely good collection. Belts, boots, you name it, he's got them all. Oh, he's also collected some Quans. Very cool. He's got some John Lofgrens. He's got some new whites. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Carlos. You are the man, sir. I will have these back headed your way here shortly. Stay tuned. I do have 2 more Fortis reviews coming up. I've got a couple pair on the way. Sani and the team, absolutely phenomenal Indonesian bootmakers. I've done 2 other videos on Fortis so far. You could click those here. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Let's keep the love of boots alive. I'll see y'all in my next video.